Hello and welcome to another behind the scenes look on how I composed that commercial that you just saw, which is from Vamp on the Batwalk. So as of right now, you know more than I do about how the video turned out, so hopefully it turned out okay. But today I am working on this game right here, and let me tell you a little bit about it before we get into like how I compose the shots and everything. Now in this game, you're choosing a vampire and you're going to be playing with different cards, and you have no idea what you look like, which in turn translates to the cards themselves. So you don't know what your hand is, and you're gonna be playing certain cards, and the goal here is to have your vampire progress along the track, the victory point track, which in this case is an actual red carpet. So with that quick board game overview in mind, automatically I thought, you know what, if this is all about fashion and kind of just glamour and all that, first thing I thought of was a red carpet. So here I have some red fabric that I'm going to use to lay out. I also have some red ribbon and a couple other things that I'll show you along the way. But let's get started first with the first scene. So this one, I have 4 beats that I have to hit, boom, 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 really quick. That's 3 beats, but you know what I mean. The progress and the plan that I have here is that first off, I want to start off with the box unopened and get some shots of like the box art, the logo, all of that, all the really important stuff real quick, so people automatically know that we're talking about or we're showing a board game here. And then I'll slowly want to unveil the box because the box itself is actually a stage. See, so it's actually a red carpet. So I want to kind of film that in like a transformative way, so it looks like the box is kind of folding up on its own. And then since all of these characters have unique colors and very, very obvious characteristics and pretty much style, as per the theme, I'm gonna get into those two and then have them differentiate themselves per color. I've been doing a lot of color work lately, so good thing that the RGB sticks and the RGB strip light that you'll see in a bit come in handy, because those have been really good for the past 3 or 4 board games I've been doing, because they've all had distinguishing colors: yellow, red, blue, green, purple, yellow, red, blue, green, purple, repeat, repeat, repeat. So this time we are gonna use the same materials, but as always, with some differences. Okay, now first off, these panels that I've been using have been putting in some major work. So this is a black acrylic panel that I will also link down below that I normally use for pictures, but they have been amazing for videos as well because they provide a nice reflective surface. Let me show you. Right, so look at that nice, really, really nice, clear, clean cut reflective surface that you can use for your video. So that's why I'm gonna start off with this black panel first. Matches the vampires, right? Because it's nice and dark and moody, despite how playful the artwork is. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this for the first few really quick shots and then move on to transforming the box. Now for this next shot, I want the box to kind of rise up, just like a vampire actually would when they wake up from their deep sleep. So for that, I'm going to kind of film it like this, and I want it to rise up, so I'm gonna try to time it so that way as it rises, it has a nice little glimmer and light, and then rises up just like that. So that's for the first part, and then I kind of want the box to transform because the box itself is like that red carpet scene. So I'm gonna do a couple other shots that hopefully line up with that. How I'm gonna transform it, I don't know just yet. So the next shot here, the transformation isn't anything crazy because in reality, the bottom box just flips over and then the top box just flips vertically. And then they will go inserted just like this. But what I wanted to point out here is that it's always good to record the logo of the company that you're working for, or pretty much you're highlighting. Including the logo is never a bad thing, so that's why I always like to include it subtly instead of just like flash it on screen. Here, as the transformation is taking progress, you see the jellyfish both here and in the reflection. So I just got a really cool idea. If it works out, it's gonna end up being really cool. So what I was thinking, so what I just filmed was that this box was being inserted into the vertical box. And as it touches the red carpet on the side, I think it'd be really cool if a real red carpet just like flows out of nowhere as if it was coming through the box and going in this direction. So initially I filmed it going straight this way. I think it'd be cool if it was just going backwards and then red carpet just rolls out that way. So to do that, I'm gonna film a couple shots just following the board as it gets inserted, and then I'm gonna do a couple other shots of just the red carpet flowing through the top of the table this way, and then mix them together. So as I was filming, here's an idea that I came up with. I draped the cloth along the light fixture, which is great because now the light is really nice and diffused and it also reflects back against the background. That's perfect. We'll fix that in a second. And then I also have the shiny strips of ribbon that I had earlier. The reason why I chose glitter is because light usually reflects across it pretty nicely, even if I'm just using it as foreground to kind of just show the motion of the board as I go like this and then give me more room to mask as well. Hi, so it is now day 2. So now I want to get a lot of shots of a lot of foreground movement. That way I have, again, some room to mask that out in post. And of course I want to showcase the box. That's definitely going to be a key highlight. So I'm going to do a lot of shots in and out, going left and right, up and down, of course, maybe just revealing it from the top to bottom, just like that. For the red vampire, I'm going to go ahead and show a backlighting in the red and just isolate her by herself. And then, for example, for something else that I can do is also put in a green one, but then put in 2 light sticks over here that are also green, so it highlights it green as well. So the goal here is to always provide some unique defining characteristics for each character. That's what I like to do, at least. That way it not only adds interest to the video, but choices are also important too. Everyone likes to pick between different characters. Now I think this is going to be the most helpful tip for today, and one of the most frequent questions that I get is how do I think about, or how do I think of those transitions that I do in a ton of my videos? And one thing I always say is think about masking. So masking is basically when you're going frame by frame and just kind of cropping something out of the scene. I'll show you an example right here. But in order to have that flexibility to mask in post, you really need to think about how you're going to film. Now here's a setup that I love doing for both photos and videos. It's a set of leading lines that you can use for a lot of really cool things. I like to put 2 of my light sticks side by side just like that. And then when you're filming this shot, you can punch in just like this slowly and kind of just creep into the meeple character or whatever you're trying to showcase. Or you can also lean in from the side and then use something with foreground to just go towards it like that. What I'm going to do is lock focus in on the subject and slowly pan my camera down, and then as it goes underneath the table, there's a line right here, and that line is going to serve as a point for masking for the next transition. Something I'm probably going to add to like a future B-roll video or like tip video is putting 2 lights together like this. Usually I put it like so it's facing to the side, but instead facing it up gives the cards a really cool reflection, as you can see here with the tabletop. So if you look at the shot, my shot, if you saw in the video, was actually something like this, and it ends up looking really isolated, really nice, and it gives a really cool sheen to the cards as well. You know, I've been itching to change up my studio wall and like the whole design of this area back here, but one reason why I haven't been actually is this janky setup that I've had for so long. For some reason it just is so good. Like, despite how it looks now, when you film it, it just looks so incredibly good, and it's great for isolation shots. So here I'm putting my blue vampire here, and you're gonna get some really nice bokeh and some really nice blurred blue balls of lights going from side to side, as you'll see in the B-roll. So this honestly is just being held by like blue painter's tape. It's just being taped to a really, you know, cheap desk from IKEA, and that's that. It works. You know, even some of these lights, however, are off. Like, see those LEDs over there? They're all green and the rest are all blue. It's just a really bad setup. But for some reason, it just comes in handy when it comes to product shots. So I've had this treasure box that for some reason has come in handy as well. They come with little plastic coins and jewels. So what's cool is that they had a lot of pink jewels, and since there are a lot of gems in this design for like the pink vampire or the magenta vampire, I'm also going to incorporate that into the video as well. And plus, they look really nice in the light as well. So that's going to turn out pretty cool. Lightly, the gameplay mechanics. So I want to start introducing all the vampires on the red carpet and then having them slide up in response to cards flipping in and out for the final set of shots for Vamp. And to kind of simulate that gameplay, I'm going to have a color code for a certain card, and if that card plays up higher, like for example a star is like the highest suit in the game, if this plays out, then I'm gonna have the blue vampire move forward, and then just have that progression of vampires going back and forth that leads up to the end of the video. Now, instead of always using my hands in the camera shot, what I also like to do is to actually use fishing string, tape it to like the bottom of those standees, and then pull it across as my camera focuses in on like the top portion of the meeple, so you see them kind of moving on their own instead of just me using my hands to like move everything. So since red was the quote winner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my light stick and then kind of just flash it across just like that. And the reason for that is because when I pair it with sound, it looks like there are flashes coming from a camera, which is perfect because since the whole theme of this is like fashion and red carpet, I figured camera, lights, all that plus sound effects will match perfectly. And then to give viewers a recap of what the video was about, I'm going to highlight the title of the box right here, and then I'm going to pull the box up, and I want to have this block the frame of the camera. So you're going to focus in on the pieces as they fall backwards, and then the box is going to go up. And then of course, to end it with the box shot, I'm going to zoom out and zoom in because I don't know which one I'm going to use just yet. But I do know that I want to leave some empty space up top. That way I can leave room for the company logo. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed that behind the scenes take on Vamp. Comment down below which one was your favorite clip and your favorite scene. If you have any questions about like how I filmed other things or like how I edited certain pieces, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below so I can hopefully make a future video about it and address your question. And with that, I will see you all in the next one.